name is Isaac Lam, the executive member of Hong Kong Sex Education Association. And today our topic is the need for sex education in the ethnic minorities in Hong Kong. And we are very happy today to have two speakers here, and who is Fermi Wong, who's like the executive director of Hong Kong Unison, and also Marrz Belaro. That I pronounced the name right, the founder of Filguys Association of Hong Kong and the convener of Lesbian for Equality and Solidarity in Hong Kong. So we're going to have like two presentations today, and each presentation is going to be around 20 minutes. And then we're going to open the forum for discussions. You guys feel free. I'm sorry that today the forum is going to be conducted in English, but if you guys need any help for translation, you can ask your neighbors. And also during the open forum, please feel free to use Cantonese or Mandarin to ask the questions, and we can translate it for the speakers. So welcome the first speaker, Fermi. Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. This is Fermi. I'm a social worker serving ethnic minorities in Hong Kong, mainly South Asians, Pakistani, Nepalese, India, of course some Southeast Asians, Filipino, Thai, and Indonesia, and a small number of Nigerians from Africa. Okay, in fact, I'm not expert for this topic. I only know very little. I have a very little knowledge about the topic, but anyway, I learned that from the organizer that there is nobody that will come here to speak for every minorities, so that's why I'm here. I must declare that I have only little knowledge, but those I'm going to speak is based on my frontline case works with Muslim girls, Punjabi, Hindu, Nepalese, okay? So, Unison, if you want to know more, just go to our website. It's a very small, non-governmental, charitable organization. We do advocacy, mainly in education policy and legislation against racial discrimination. And of course, we also do a lot of political lobbying, okay, and casework. Okay, who we are talking about, ethnic minorities in Hong Kong is about 6.4%, according to the recent population census. And Unison, when we talk about ethnic minorities, we are referring to four groups of people in Hong Kong. The first one, of course, foreigner domestic helpers, mainly Filipino ladies and Indonesian ladies. The second group are the settlers, immigrants, that they are Hong Kong residents. And then number three is the refugees, asylum seekers, torture campers. And number four, expats, those people who work in Hong Kong. And Unison only serve group number two. That means the settlers, especially working class and youth and children. Okay? So the red, those groups are our major serving targets. Okay, the topic is the organizer gave me is the need of sex education for the ethnic minorities living and working in Hong Kong. But I will more focus on the South Asian youth, namely Pakistani, India, and Nepalese. Okay, first of all, I believe that you will agree with me that ethnicity, race, and gender, including sexuality, are important during youth, especially for ethnic minorities youth, an important period of identity formation. A lot of ethnic minorities born here, they do face identity confusion. I'm Pakistani, Hong Kong Chair, or what? Okay, sometimes it's really a serious topic for them. Okay? Secondly, unfortunately, I must say there is a lack of equal care and concern to ethnic minorities, children and youth in many social service sectors. Common visa, limited resources. And then I would always argue, Why, if there is limited resources and FMR has never been in their priority? Limited resources, everybody agrees that, okay, needs are endless, but always they are not in the priority. This is very good reason. The need of sex education for African artists, I will say, are ignored or even denied. They are invisible or absent to sex education institutions. So I'm so sorry that I have my friends from the Fermi Planning Association, Department of Health, NGOs. You can ask them how many African artists, youth or people they have been served. I will say it's very, very less, even zero. There is no need assessment, study or research or culture-sensitive sex education program or services are available in town for South Asians. It's very difficult for us. Sometimes I refer my clients to those institutions, end up they will come back to me. For example, just last month, I had one Nepalese who premarital pregnant and really, really desperate, want to seek help. If she said that if her parents discover that she is pregnant, they are going to kill her. And then I try to, because I was in USA, and then I said, okay, she called me, long distance call, and then said, okay, where I can do? I said, okay, go to the Fermi Planning Association. There is a youth clinic in Bangkok, Yamate, and she went. But she was declined the service and ended up she has to go to Shenzhen for illegal abortion, which is, I consider is very risky. So I think this is very difficult. Color bias of service providers. I believe that most of our programs are designed for ethnic Chinese because if we have some common backgrounds, we understand better, even though there are some, various youth, age or gender perspectives. But color is never been considered in the sex education program. Unequal access to the information and services. I try to browse all those websites. Not all the information is in bilingual. Our FM artists, of course, if they're born here, they receive education here, English is okay with them. They're okay. But some are new arrivals. They are not necessarily understand or mastering good English. Of course, no Cantonese. So some youth, they want to know more about education, sexuality. It seems there is no way for them. Of course, they can go to overseas website. But sometimes, they have the local context, local experience. They want to seek, any information. But it's very hard for them. Challenges they face, okay, these are based on my frontline social work, case work experience. Sexuality, basically in general, is a taboo subject in their families and communities, especially in Muslim communities. It is disrespectful and embarrassing if you talk about it. Or, even you, express that you are open to it. Of course, it's a taboo. Even, when I pay home visit, I try to discuss about the topic early marriage or arranged marriage. And then we always have a big fight. Or, eventually I have argued with their parents. So this is very difficult. However, I will say that our youth still receive clear message on sexuality from parents, peers, and society. But of course, they have to deal with intercultural conflicts, which is a contrasting reality of the outside and home worlds. For example, period for Muslim girls is still dirty. If they are having their period, they are not allowed to do their prayers or going to mosque. And then they say, okay, my girls told me that they want to ask their moms, what is period? When? How it happen? Oh, when you grow up, you will know it. Okay, don't ask. This is really a taboo still. But of course, when you ask Filipino girls, I do have the local Filipino girls. This is a very common topic. We are talking about premarital sex relationship, abortion, all those things. But for Muslim girls, Punjabi, Hindu, no way. So, but they know that, the outside world in the schools, if they are in the mainstream schools, they know that this is quite common or normal, natural to talk about it. But at home, no. In this case, sometimes they really feel that they have the discrepancy and also conflict within I would say it's a bicultural experience from home, community, and also the mainstream society. Number 3, I think differentiation in social roles and expectations within their families and community and mainstreams. For example, girls, now we expect that they have the equal opportunities in education. Or we will accept that you just study as far as you can, as higher as you can. But this is not the case for Muslim girls. Every year, we have around 10 to 20 girls in Form 4 suddenly withdraw from the school because of the arranged marriage. And so sudden, they inform us about the school so sudden, and there is no room for us to intervene. They just disappear. But nowadays it's changing, even though they get married, but they still, some of the husbands allow them to continue their studies, but not all the time. And of course, for some parents, they believe that if the girls obtain too high education, that means it's easier or higher chances for the girls to rebel or to, not that tradition. So this is, but the role now, the social roles as a women, girls, is really different, with their community. And of course, girls, if they do something different from their community, their tradition, we are not only talking about is the rebel to the family, it's also a rebel to the community and the religion, mosque, imam, whole community, relative, family. So sometimes it's rather dangerous. Dating, because in the teenagers, somehow, right, you are attracted by opposite sex or same sex, okay? So, but it's really a big deal if it is discovered by their parents. It leads to family tension, of course, communication breakdown, community gossip. Gossip, please don't look down upon that gossip. Okay, I just, who cares? It cares. It really matter for South Asians, community gossip. And also even forced early marriage is already very early. But once you start dating with some guy and then discovered by family and then will even foster your early marriage. And I have girls, who date with a Pakistani girl and who date with a Pakistani boy. But the parents, they are not happy with it. The girl was only 15 years old at the time, and the parents asked her to quit the school and then immediately arrange cousin to get married. And the girls run away. This is a very extreme case, in Hong Kong, run away. And run away and then come to me, of course. And then I went to social welfare department, look for shelter for this girl. Because the father said that because you're dating with a Pakistani boy, this is a family shame. You bring family shame to me, I'm going to send you to get married with a cousin or, to other country, Middle East. And the girl was born here and so scared and so reluctant to take the father's arrangement and come to me. And when I went to social welfare department, social worker said that, I said, if you don't provide shelter to this girl, she will be very dangerous or at risk. Her parents may send her back to Pakistan or even kill her. Have you heard about honor killing? Honor killing means that if you commit any premarital relationship or are dating, and then some village in Pakistan still have can stone you to death. That is honor killing. But the social worker said that she is not yet dead, so there's no point, no reason for me to provide service. And then we went, and then I put the girl to the boy's parents' home. And one night, there are around 35 Pakistani men come up to the boy's home, want to get back the girl, and with the air ticket, want to send her back to Pakistan. And so luckily I was there, paying a home visit. And then we went to police station. The police said that there's nothing I can do because she still survived. She is not yet dead, so I cannot help. I said, but if she was dead, it's too late. So it seems that you can see the color bias or in cultural insensitivity. And then I have to full lawmaker nature, help me to report to the police. And then there was some police patrol. And then and I have to look after the girl after 1 year. That means she was 16 years old, and then she went with her boyfriend to Pakistan to get married according to the Islamic law. In Hong Kong, you know that it's not allowed unless the parents consent. And now, of course, they live happily, quite happily. Now they have 2 babies, but entirely disconnected with her families. The father said there's no way for me to forgive her because feminism is far important than my daughter's life. This is extreme, but I have to tell you, this is really cultural dimension sensitivities. Okay, number 5. Of course, I know that these 2 days workshop, we have a wide spectrum. A lot of interesting topics, has been discussed. Homosexual, gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual is wrong and sinful in their communities. Once they have some confusion or want to know more about it, it's wrong and sinful. Feel ashamed and depressed. This is my case, some of boys and girls, they told me they want to know more, but they are not allowed to have it openly discussed. Parents, of course, I do talk to parents. They really fear that their children are culturally influenced by mainstream society. Because Hong Kong, they say is very Western culture, or sometimes they learn from the media. It's very open, sexually active, insincere. All those stereotypes or image that from the mainstream society is really the parents. They really fear. Really, scared that their children, what if they follow the mainstream? And then their children, especially girls' future, will be ruined. Nobody will want her. So that's why you can see the Hong Kong girls and boys, they marry back to their countries. Because they are not too traditional. Okay? This is, peers are the main supporters. Nowhere and no one to talk to. Even in the school, teachers, social workers, all of us are Chinese. Sometimes we just, adopt the way that we used to give our services to Chinese. So they don't feel that social workers, teachers, they really understand their need. Peers. But sometimes I really say that it's very risky. A lot of wrong information or knowledge that they share among themselves. So, okay. Coping strategy, of course. If they really happen, love somebody, engage with somebody, like to keep their secret. Many times they told their parents that they go to campaign with me, or go to Unison for tutorial, my organization, go out with me, but no, it's not true. Sometimes the parents will call me. Or even some of them, they have a fake parents letter. And then with my name. So, it's very stressful, but they have to find a way to hide. They know the consequences could be very, very serious, and they cannot stand for or bear. Of course, most of the girls, they would better to avoid or denying their desire or their needs. Yeah, they don't think about it. Sometimes among girls, they have a gossip, but really, really suppressed. Because if they really believe that if they talk more, the desire will become more visible, more eager, and it will be very difficult for them. Okay? So this is a recommendation. I will always say, okay, this on sex education, of course, is highly diverse in the for the African minorities. You bear in mind that it's not only about the gender perspective, ethnicity, race, culture, religion, caste, age, and sexuality are all the dimensions that are affecting what kind of needs or to what point our intervention should start with. So this is, we have to bear in mind, proactive and reaching out approach. I understand that for the Family Planning Association, they have a school program, but based on the invitation of the schools. But those schools have admit large number of African minority schools, They also worry about that the teachers, they will not take initiative to invite, come to my school. So I really would commend those institutions with good experience, in sex education, please proactively to contact the schools, reaching out approach. School-based intervention, I will say this is a good strategy because anyway, they are highly concentrating in certain schools. Now in Hong Kong, we have about 30, we call designated schools that they admit more than from 70% to 100% abnormalities. So it's quite easy to approach them. Community web portal. Why? They don't know you. Why should I listen to you? Please, don't only just build up the web portal of the individuals or students. Community. Talk to their parents, imams, community that their needs. What are their views on sex education? What are their worries? Okay, and so that you can have a better design of the program. Both designating and mainstreaming, because each ethnic group, they have a very unique culture and also different needs. I would suggest that, of course, you have to have some designated program to different groups. But sometimes I do recommend mainstreaming. Otherwise, it's always be marginalized. So sometimes maybe they will share some topic, common topic they can share with the Chinese or different ethnic groups. Cultural sensitivity trainings for trainers and teachers. I believe that we don't have such program, right? Sensitivity training, I'm not sure. Professor, you do have a cultural sensitivity training for our social workers or health workers? I'm not sure. Sex education service, I think, should be affordable because I must say that my serving targets are most of from working class. Maybe we think that, okay, $100 is okay, but they may not okay. So it should be affordable according to their situation, non-judgmental and accessible linguistic issues. I'm not saying that all sorts of information should have provide 19 or 20 languages, but at least bilingual should be available. Okay, I will stop. Okay, last one. Not only cultural appropriate, I think, and also we have to address a larger social health, psychological issues which affect them. Okay, time's up. Thank you so much.
A relationship is not merely based on gender and religion, but on love, mutual understanding, and respect. Frankula invited me to give a talk for the Sex Cultural Festival, which will theme Sexuality and Types, Spatial, Social, and Relational. I am deeply honored to speak before you on this topic, especially that it is a sensitive one. People like us, we refer to ourselves as lesbian women or gay women. We call ourselves butches and femmes. We have the vision and desire to come together to forge a community that addresses some of the common issues we all face as lesbians. Lesbians among the overseas Filipino workers in Hong Kong. A closet lesbian Jo told her story, wherein she has to keep her tomboy clothes in her bag to wear during Sundays, so her employer won't see it. With her short hair, she wears a headband and a maid's uniform during work days. She never revealed her sexuality to her employer for 8 years. Bisexual lesbians, Pia, Elsa McCoy, and others, have families back in Philippines. In Hong Kong, they came out and have lesbian relationships. Some also role-play tomboy image to avoid men and feel safer with women around. Although these married women have families back in Philippines. Pia and Lisa met in Hong Kong and became friends. Pia had 7 relationships for the last 15 years, but all failed, and Lisa was always the shoulder to cry on until one day they fell for each other. Lisa is going home for a holiday in Philippines this month and plans to visit Pia's family. Lisa has decided to separate with her irresponsible husband and spend her life with Pia. Filipino lesbians in Hong Kong have the tendency to fall in love with married women. It is estimated that more than 50% of lesbian relationships are with married women, seeking lesbian relationships that are temporary to ease their homesickness and avoid men in order to preserve their families. Lesbians prefer married women not only because their relationships with single women failed, but because they are more expressive and don't care about people sneering at them. Anna, not her real name, had past relationships with men. It is her first time to have a relationship with a lesbian. Her relationship with a lesbian has now lasted for almost 7 years. Lesbians easily find partners in videoke clubs. They become friends, then enter into a relationship. Lesbians avoid young and aggressive partners, but the avoiding acts makes them more attractive and they become vulnerable prey to one-night stands. There are also few cases where employers flirt with their lesbian mates and vice versa. Lesbians' actions are often misinterpreted when they show their care and understanding to their employers. There was a case, the male employer, banker married for 10 years but no child, got jealous with lesbian mate and fired her because of this. We are often victims of being rejected by employers because they thought that lesbians might influence their daughters. On the other hand, we also see it as an advantage because wives are more secure with their husbands when they hire lesbian maids. Lesbian butches are sometimes called lesbian bitches because they are heartbreakers, but they are also victims of exploitation. There are different stories about Filipino lesbians in Hong Kong. Some lesbians who are called macho conservatives indulge themselves in gambling, drinking, having multiple partners, and falling around. But there are also tigasin top progressives who are involved in well-meaning organizations, helping, educating, and organizing other lesbians to join them. Lesbians are victims of violence. On October 8, 2005, Ding was attacked by a Filipino man at a videoke club because he felt insecure upon seeing Ding with a beautiful woman. The man attacked her, raped her t-shirt, and hit her on the face until police arrived. Ding was charged because he was found drunk, while the man was not. The attacker. That incident gave rise to Filguys Association Hong Kong that was established a year later. Hilda Maala Montilla was brutally killed by her homophobic husband in 2009. Her body dismembered, eyeballs taken out, and was found naked in her sister's house in Quezon City. Filguys organized a prayer vigil and was able to collect donations and was sent to the bereaved family. This prompted Filguys to improve its welfare programs. There were also 2 alleged suicide cases, a young lesbian in Mayfu, Common Reserve, placed valuable with peers. She committed suicide in 2010 because her girlfriend broke up with her. Another lesbian hung herself last year because of drug overdose. What do we need to preserve our identities? There may be malpractices and exploitation, but we will overcome these weaknesses if we look at the importance of coming out, not only with pride, but with dignity. We will overcome these difficulties if we discover our worth as human beings. What we need is compassion, understanding, love, and harmony from the community, and education to combat decadent culture and being stereotyped as outcasts and eyesores. We are human beings with only different lifestyles and behaviors. Despite all this, we would like to be integrated to the society to continue being productive and useful citizens. We believe that lesbians in a relationship are not merely focused in each other, but should look to the same direction. We understand that relationship comes from the word religare, to relate religiously. We believe that a lesbian relationship should be enlightening, educating, and helps in attaining self-development for both partners. Which means there should be a strong foundation of love and harmony towards a common goal, not selfish and narrow-minded, but with love and care for others, and working for a healthier and cleaner environment and care for the oppressed. We believe that in order for a relationship to work, we need to practice equality with partner, to nurture the relationship like admitting mistakes easily, constructive criticism, and willingness to rectify the mistakes. We must be always on guard with the basic principles of mutual love, understanding, and respect. We need to feel proud and dignified with our relationship and not to feel ashamed of it. We need to stand proud with our partners, to work hand in hand to organize other lesbians, and to be aware of our rights and welfare. Having Hong Kong as our home, while we feel that we are free, discrimination and homophobia always threaten our existence. There are people who make visual inspection of us from head to toe on the MTR and some even sneer at us. Even among the Filipinos, we also get discriminated against by conservative Catholics. But to us, religion and sexual orientation do not contradict each other. We are also Catholics and should not be rejected. We work hard and we sympathize with the underprivileged. We believe that God is righteous and God will judge us on our deeds, not on our identity. Our mission represents not just our collective aspirations in a more humane, inclusive, and democratic world, but it also enshrines the guidelines for the development and conduct of this community we belong to. Social change can only come about people like us who are discriminated and exploited, are committed to bring about this transformation for ourselves. The decision to form an organization, plan and act collectively, and be active stem for our commitment to create a common platform so that the world can be a better place for all. We must take our organization seriously, recapture our history because it has been distorted for us, define our goals clearly, and formulate effective strategies to reclaim our space as women, migrant workers, and as people. We are lesbians and we are migrant workers. We as the organized forces have the duty and responsibility to educate both the Filipino and local community of our situation. We are discriminated and victims of exploitation. What we need is a strong coordination, unity and solidarity towards attaining a healthy and harmonious society with our fellow lesbians, compatriots, and Hong Kong locals. I would like to read the translation of the song to conclude my talk, entitled Sabi Nila, They Tell Us. They think we are not meant for each other because we belong to the same gender, a love that has no future, a relationship that will never materialize. That's what people think. People who pretend to be religious or martyrs, the truth, they have not love at all. Because we love each other so much, our love is so pure and simple. We will triumph over discrimination and homophobia. We will transform the society that is hostile to people like us. They think we will never be happy in a relationship that is not right. They say that this is not acceptable to the Almighty because we are committing a sin. That's what people who pretend to be honorable and untainted think, but these people possess minds that are polluted. Sabi Nila, or They Tell Us, is a song composed by Danny Fabella, a cultural artist from Sinang Bolosan of Migrant International. It has been adopted as Filguys' signature song as it depicts the lives of Filipino lesbians. Joe Dago and myself sang the song and is included in the first album, Higasun Pero Di Macho, Songs of Love, Life and Dreams of Filipino Lesbians in Hong Kong. Jo went through a lot of pain, trials, and challenges in her life as a lesbian, and she has a story to tell in this song. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marrz and Fermi, for a really great presentation. I think this is especially important, this panel for Hong Kong, because recently there's like a lot of cultural dynamics between different ethnic groups in Hong Kong, including Filipinos, and also Indonesian or even mainland Chinese. And I think in general, Hong Kong is really lack of discussions of minority, and there's I think a lot of discrimination towards minority in Hong Kong is pretty much naturalized, and Hong Kong people are really not self-aware of how to deal with differences and different groups of people. I guess maybe I can just make some remarks of the points that we have discussed today, and then we can open to the forum to we can feel free to ask more questions. I think in the two panels we came up with some issues, including institutional issues where a lot of institutions are judging minorities by the color, or in generally lack of sensitivity towards the minorities, and that also includes a lot of different things, including language discrimination and things like that. And second is we have talked about the cultural difference, the dynamics between the sort of original culture and also the interaction with Hong Kong culture. I think that's the issue that we can open talk about. And the third one is there is some structural organization of resources in Hong Kong which we need to look into, because if we don't change the structure of allocation of resources, it seems like we can't really have a bigger picture to improve the situation. And for Marrz, we have talked about the power dynamics between the employers and also the domestic helpers, and also there are some issues about the cultural difference between the home country and Hong Kong that leads to also different versions of relationships, right? Marriage in home country and Hong Kong, there extend to different kind of experiences of relationships. And finally, I think we also talk about how we can Marrz also talk about how we can improve that situation by proactively building up community in Hong Kong, right? To sort of further talk about the identities. So I guess we have a lot of different experts also here on the floor, and representing different NGOs here. We can also open the forum and talk about this. Is there any initial response or questions from the floor? 有冇啲問題可以
Excellent talks. And I have two questions for Marrz. And the first question is about how the marital status affecting their lesbian orientation. Because you mentioned that seems like the married women are more expressive to their same-sex orientation. And this is quite different from my expectation. Because I think, oh, maybe the single women are more interested. But from your speech, you suggest that maybe the married women are more expressive in the lesbian relationships. So I would like to hear more about how their marital status affecting their same-sex relationships. And also the second point is about the religion part. You mentioned that there's some conservative Catholics, maybe also among the Filipino domestic workers. So from your experience, do you have any having attack or very negative words against Filguys? Like when you have the open activities, like on Charter Road, like the slides you just showed to us. Have any conservative Catholics or homophobic domestic workers came up to you and like shout to you and any bad experience you've encountered? And thanks.
Yeah, for the first question, we believe that there are more married women involved in lesbian relationships. According to our members, there are more. And there are bisexual lesbians are married in Philippines and involved in a relationship with women in Hong Kong, and also with married women. And they are more expressive in the sense that they are seeking temporary relationships with lesbians to preserve their families back home. They feel that having a temporary relationship with lesbians is more safer than involvement in having relationships with men. And with your second questions, yes, we encounter a lot of comments from the public. Why do we need to expose ourselves as lesbians, and we should not be doing big events to expose our identity as lesbians. And we don't attack them, of course. We try our best to explain and invite them during our forum and activities to get them, encourage them to attend our activities, to make them more aware of our situation.
I guess this is a question maybe for both of you guys. Like, have you ever because your group is really a lot about community building, but do you guys also interact with other local organizations or institutions or seek resources from them, or also for Fermi? Have you ever deal with any cases like this, domestic helpers who are lesbian or gays?
Not really have much interaction or cooperation with gay community or lesbians, but for policy advocacy, we more cooperate before, many years ago with the Hong Kong Unison, because for the legislation against racial discrimination, also the sexual orientation legislation. And for the domestic helper groups, we more cooperate in the government policies, like have a better labor laws, and also the laws to protect their basic rights. But we're talking about sexuality, sex education. We tend to, in cases, I will handle by myself, but sometimes if I need their help, I will sit outside, but it's very difficult for me. And even it's very, I would say it's quite ironic. Those institutions will refer their case to me. For example, institutions serve sex workers, they will refer every minority sex worker to me. And SWT, they will refer every minorities, those, any relate to different needs, okay, they refer to me. And for other institutions, suppose they have to provide services, if once involve every minorities, they refer to me. But I have to say, Unison is only have 2 social workers, including myself.
But do you think this is because of judgment of the color or language discrepancy, or?
I believe there could be many reasons. Many, some are general challenges for the workers. Some are, I would say, just not ready to serve. Some said that, okay, we don't have experience, we don't know how. And some will say that, oh, well, everything is Chinese and there's no resources to translate into English or other languages. And some of them will say that, okay, just simply say that we don't serve this group. Or some of them, they feel so troubled that, okay, if I deal with the local Chinese, I know how I can do. But once we involve every market, they will feel, oh, I spend more time, energy, and this is not cost effectiveness. And it could be many reasons. Some of them, they do care, but maybe due to agencies constraint or really the genuine resources constraint that they don't have the room or capacity to serve. It's sometimes quite true, but sometimes is I would say it's an excuse that better exclude them. And it's easy for them, they always see them as only one functional group, African artists. So Unison deal with every artist, say it belongs to you. But in fact, they do have other dimensions there. Okay, so for many reasons.
Yeah. We collaborate with HIV Center. Every time they have this annual AIDS festival, then we join them.
Mm-hmm.
So through these efforts, I believe we can seek sex education or AIDS orientation for our members of the center. So,
any more questions?
Talk about the lesbians relationship. The talk given just now is one of the speakers said that some of those domestic work from overseas, they tend to develop a lesbian relationship rather than with a man. So could I conclude that this is very much of short term, and also for, as you said, safety reasons, right? So once they get back home, right? So that sort of relationship will be finished. So can I say that this sort of relationship in Hong Kong is purely temporary? It's sort of seeking for sort of relationship, safety, with another party rather than with a man.
yeah.
So actually, okay, these sort of people do not have that sort of relationship after they go back home. Can I say this?
Yeah. In the short term, we think it is a temporary relationship, but after many years that they have known to each other, then sometimes that we have cases that these married women separates with the husband. Like Lisa, the case of Lisa, after 7 years having a relationship with Pia, she decided to separate with the husband. But some of the relationships, lesbian relationships, for maybe say months and a year or 2 years, we feel that these are temporary relationships.
So that sort of relationship is purely because, when this overseas worker come to Hong Kong, because of loneliness, because of a degree of isolation, then gradually they develop that sort of, tendency. So they are not inborn, right? That sort of relationship is not inborn. It's matter of the environment that forced them to develop that sort of, relationship. Can I say this?
Yeah, some had before they came to Hong Kong, they were already lesbians. But since Philippines is a conservative, religious country, so it's not very easy for us to come out freely, especially to our families, because it's really a taboo topic. You cannot come out to your family unless you are really assertive. But until they got married and then they came to Hong Kong, then here in Hong Kong is an open city, so they were able to come out freely. So, but not all of the lesbians are just in Hong Kong. They just came out in Hong Kong because it was really easier for them. Unlike in Philippines, that it was really difficult, especially in the rural areas. You are considered as you have no future. They see it as a sickness and everything. They even punish them if they found out that we are lesbians.
By law? Is it by law?
It's not by law. It's the culture. Yeah, the culture. I think it's more on religion, because there are only they learn that there are only two sexes, is only a female and male, so you don't belong to any of this. You should correct yourself.
我想咧問下 Fermi， 因為咧你講到咧其實咧個青少年係個 ephemerality 裏面，佢會好被 control 啊屋企同埋佢哋嘅社區。咁你可以做，我聽到係你可以做埋一啲教育係私底下嘅教育啦，叫做，因為係要攞個家長紙咁樣咯。咁但係我有個問題喎，咁就係嗱，假如咧佢係一般嘅性需要啦，普通人可以你教育完之後，佢識得點樣用正確嘅方法去處理，就可以減少咗大肚婚前性行為嘅問題啦。咁或者安全性行為等等啦。咁如果就算佢係一個同性戀啦，我都可以教佢你秘密地底下做啦。咁但係我有問題啦。咁假如咧今次咧係一個青少年女仔，其實佢個性別認同係覺得自己係一個男仔嚟嘅，連醫生都話其實佢應該做變性手術嘅。咁但係咧，咁但係其實咁仲可以幫佢點樣去幫佢點樣去喐到咧？因為其實佢個家庭啦，甚至係因為佢唔係就係家庭，係講緊成個社區。你突然間有一個女仔變個男仔，已經大家接受唔到啦。甚至打扮男性化都接受唔到，但係其實咧，佢真係有咁嘅需要，醫生都係唔講，咁其實仲可以點做啊？咁
嗱，首先咧就係喺少數族裔之間個種族咧，嗰種嘅容忍度有唔同嘅。譬如話，如果講尼泊爾，咁佢都當然覺得好難接受，但係有空間咧，即係如果尤其喺香港生活咧，可以去慢慢傾，雖然個時間啊技巧要好耐。咁嗰個印度人就睇下咩宗教啦嚇，佢係 Hindu 定係 Punjabi 嚟自呢個嘅大城市定係鄉村啦。咁會教就真係好難啦，就你所講嘅。咁咧就係會教又再分性別啦。咁男仔咧嗰個容忍又大少少，咁女仔就好難。咁頭先你嗰個例子就係一個女仔，佢覺得我諗都死得㗎啦。咁即係基本上咧嗱我係講真㗎，即係佢我覺得第一咧。以我冇接觸過嚇，但係我知道有啲女仔其實佢好奇呢個題目咧，佢基本上佢連朋友都唔可以講啊，佢唔敢講，因為咧太可怕啦！如果萬一傳出去咁誤會咗佢嗰個嘅叫做 condemn 啊 community 嘅 condemn 佢不得了。咁有人佢會私底下去同我講。咁如果你問我咧？因為我冇處理過啦，佢有好奇啫，即係好奇問下人哋咁樣嚇，咁我點做咁樣？咁基本上我冇去接觸過，但係咧，如果你話去到一個嘅婚前性行為咧，咁我就處理過都幾多，係好 case by case 嘅。如果我有處理過大概5個巴省嘅女仔係有 BB 要落 BB 嘅，14至16歲，咁係相當極端嚇，即係我做咗10幾年，有5個啦。咁咧就係基本上唔係好用到個服務，我哋去家計會，因為家計會覺得 underage 咧係要父母嘛，即係你要做嗰個10個禮拜之內嗰個一定要父母，咁但係佢父母一定會打死佢㗎，即係冇得傾啊！唔係話我同佢傾，我以前做外展嘅，我變咗係一個幫人落 BB 嘅專家，我做外展好似幫過好似50幾個靚妹去咗落 BB， 我都好驚，唔知有冇報應咧？咁但係咧呢個即係我其實好驚啊，因為但係中國人咧，我係好有信心。我係好有信心，令到爸爸媽媽去同佢經歷啊！我自己都，但係少數族裔咧，你問我，佢都叫做比較信任我咧，我冇信心㗎。咁我哋會同我講話，我會寧願死啊，我都唔可以俾我父母知。咁我嗰5單嘢咧，我就好個別有2單有2單咧，就係因為好幸運啊！嗰2個妹妹有個 auntie， 有個 auntie 姨或者係姑姐，係因為教書嘅，即係佢真係 educated 係我嘅老友記。可以叫做 soft 有個屋企人咧去簽，去私人私家醫院咧都要簽㗎嘛。咁我試過咧，老實講，可能都係大家可以 condemn 我嘅，就係喺專業上或者道德上，可能啲問題就係我簽嘅，因為我冇辦法，因為佢真係會死嘅，而且個肚越嚟越大，而我睇唔到個希望，即係唔係話華裔咧你慢慢啦生出嚟啦做single mom，嗰個唔係咁樣，咁於是咧。係我同校長去簽嘅，咁我同校長係咁祈禱，佢都唔係基督徒喎，但係我係啦，我哋好驚佢有事，一有事我同校長係不得了嘅。咁最後老實講咧，我有3單咧係隱瞞咗佢父母嘅，但係個過程即係當然可以攞出嚟討論，但係我好明白，因為我都識得佢屋企人啊，係冇得傾啊，係 no room 啊嚇咁你問我，你講得啱。但係我想講，我都唔係講到好絕望啊！於是咁跟住我哋唔理佢，唔係嗱，佢哋話緊俾我知，佢話 Miss， 佢話有陣時當我有掙扎嘅時候咧，其實最少你改變唔到我，明話我希望一個人聽我講啊， 呢個係最低，因為佢哋會覺得起碼有個人明佢哋聽下佢講，同佢一齊諗下我哋點樣多啲 support。可能有啲嘢最後咧，作為社工我幫唔到，譬如話逼婚，有陣時傾到啦，因為睇下我有陣時會恐嚇啲家長噶嘛，即係我會攞 C or P order 等你出唔到境啊，即係呢啲咁樣嘅嘢。但係有陣時好極端嗰啲咧，我只能夠係真係同個女孩子去共同去經歷。咁如果我 engage 到爸爸媽媽睇下有冇 defer 啊，我係喺個空間咁樣去做。但係我成日都覺得一個信任咧，你一定要有一個好大嘅關懷、耐性，唔好放棄。但係有陣時結果未必我哋真係好似做華裔咧 ，always 咧係得嘅。
Unfortunately, our time is up because we have time is pretty limited. Maybe we can also, after this forum, we can talk to the speakers in individual discussions. Thanks a lot, and I hope that this conversation will still go on and to talk more about minority issues.